El Chapo just escaped from prison. The world is in shock as news breaks that El Chapo has just escaped from prison. Is it true? And if it is true, how did he do it? And what does this mean for the safety of the public? Join us as we investigate the daring escape of one of the most dangerous men in the world. Current situation. At Florence, which is approximately 2 hours outside of Denver, Colorado, there is a maximum security correctional facility. It is the penitentiary in the United States that has the highest level of security. The Administrative Maximum Facility, also known as the ADX, has not had a single prisoner break out of its confines since it opened in 1994. This is one of the reasons why former members of federal law enforcement believe that Sinaloa cartel drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman will spend the rest of his life behind bars.
Prosecutors are expected to rest their case this week in the federal trial of the notorious Mexican drug lord Joaquín El Chapo Guzman.
Because the surroundings are so strictly regulated, the only way for him to get out of there is if he had a warden in his pocket. No one ever moves there without first receiving permission, and there are never two people arriving at the facility at the same time. The retired officer who had worked for ADX referred to the entire penitentiary as a single unique housing unit in his description of the institution. Solitary confinement occurs in the Special Housing Unit, sometimes known as the SHU. The ADX prison administration did not provide a remark in response to a request for one. El Chapo in ADX. Guzman would be in rare company at the ADX, joining 400 male inmates and a roster of notorious convicted felons, such as Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, Terry Nichols, a co-conspirator in the Oklahoma City bombing, Robert Hansen, the traitorous double agent, and Zacharias Moussaoui, an al-Qaeda operative and 9/11 conspirator.
What's his life in ADX like?
Even if the behaviors are good, though, it's pretty much a 23-hour a day in the cell, 1 hour outside. And even outside, it's not a walk in the park. It's a caged environment.
Duncan Levin, who served as a federal prosecutor in the past, referred to the penitentiary as a guarded housing unit for the most dangerous and notorious criminals in the world. Inside ADX. The eerie calm that permeates the corridors of the ADX penitentiary is, in the opinion of many tourists, the most unforgettable aspect of their visit to the facility. The floors just glistened, the walls were squeaky clean, and the corridors were devoid of people. It was flawlessly simple. There was no one nearby and there was no noise. According to Deborah Golden, the staff attorney at the Human Rights Defense Center who had visited the ADX on multiple occasions, detainees at the ADX are confined to small cubicles that are the size of a lavatory for the entirety of each day, which amounts to 23 hours. Each Spartan cell is furnished with a bed, consisting of a concrete slab covered with a thin foam mattress and a combo toilet, sink, and drinking water unit. Some of the detainees could get lucky and find a single slit in the door that allows them to see a small portion of the hallway. That seems horrible. Previous escapes. It sounds like something out of a Hollywood blockbuster. The world's most notorious drug lord, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, escapes from prison not once, but twice. But this isn't fiction. It's the true story of one of the most elusive and enigmatic criminals of our time. El Chapo's first escape from prison took place in 2001. He had been serving a 20-year sentence in a maximum security facility in Mexico, but managed to slip away in a laundry cart. It was a daring and audacious move, and one that would earn El Chapo a reputation as a master of escape. For more than a decade, El Chapo remained at large, living life on the run and evading capture. But in 2014, Mexican authorities finally caught up with him and returned him to prison. This time, they were determined to make sure he didn't escape again. But, as we now know, that determination wasn't enough. In 2015, El Chapo managed to escape once again, this time through a tunnel that had been dug into his cell. It was a stunning and unprecedented feat of engineering, one that left authorities scrambling to figure out how he had done it. In the aftermath of his second escape, El Chapo became the subject of intense international attention. His ability to evade capture and escape from prison not once, but twice, was the stuff of legend. It was as if he had a supernatural ability to disappear and reappear at will, leaving authorities and the public alike wondering what he would do next. Today, El Chapo is back in custody and serving a life sentence in a U.S. prison, but his previous escapes continue to fascinate and intrigue people around the world. How did he do it? Who helped him? And what other tricks could he use to escape with this ADX? The mystery surrounding El Chapo's escapes may never be fully solved, but one thing is clear. He will go down in history as one of the most elusive and cunning criminals of all time. Now, will he be able to escape supermax? There have been a few cases of prisoners trying to escape supermax, but none of them have been successful. This is despite the fact that the facility has extremely high security measures in place. In the year 2008, 2 inmates made an unsuccessful effort to break out of their facility by boring a hole through a wall. They were apprehended before they could get very far. These occurrences demonstrate that even with all the security precautions in place, there is always the possibility that someone will attempt to flee the facility.
The supermax is life after death. It adds punishment to the crime.
Yet, if El Chapo were to attempt to break out of supermax, he would encounter a number of serious obstacles. To begin, the correctional facility is situated in a remote region of the Colorado mountains, which makes it extremely difficult for someone to sneak up on the building without being seen. In addition, there are numerous layers of fencing surrounding the prison, and an armed patrol monitors the perimeter of the facility around the clock. In addition, the premises of the prison are outfitted with an assortment of cutting-edge sensors, such as motion detectors, cameras, and heat sensors, all of which are intended to detect any movement or activity that may occur within the confines of the prison. Even if El Chapo were successful in circumventing the exterior security systems, he would still face a great deal of opposition within the actual confines of the prison. The cells of supermax are constructed out of reinforced concrete and steel, and they are fitted with a number of high-tech safety systems, including remote-controlled doors and windows, which are intended to deter any sort of unauthorized entry. In addition, the entire facility is outfitted with a system of motion detectors and cameras, both of which are constantly under the watchful eye of exceptionally well-trained security personnel. In addition to these physical measures, the facility implements a number of psychological deterrents, such as limiting inmates' contact with other people and imposing stringent regulations on their ability to speak with and engage with one another. In addition, if El Chapo were to attempt to flee from supermax, he would be met with a number of substantial legal obstacles. Any attempt on his part to flee would almost certainly result in him being placed in much more restrictive conditions, with even fewer human contact and privileges than he already has. This is in addition to the fact that he would be subject to extra-criminal charges. Although there are a great number of obstacles that El Chapo would have to overcome in order to successfully flee from supermax, some authorities believe that it is still possible for him to do so. El Chapo's huge wealth and extensive network of friends in the criminal underworld. In conclusion, despite the fact that El Chapo has a track record of breaking out of maximum security jails, the likelihood of him breaking out of the supermax prison is exceedingly remote. It is one of the most secure and impossible to escape from prisons in the world due to the prison's cutting-edge security features, its remote location, and its highly trained staff. Supermax continues to be an extremely useful weapon for removing some of the most dangerous offenders from society and keeping them incarcerated, despite the fact that there is always a chance that they will try to escape. Thank you for watching our video. We hope you found the story interesting. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave the comment down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this incredible true story. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content like this.